Hi everyone, Angel Roche here. So I've been getting so much feedback from my last video when I announced that I'm going to be a surrogate mom, and I've been getting asked a lot of questions. And so I just wanted to go ahead and quickly do a quick video on my frequently asked questions and things people have been curious about that I just kind of wanted to shed some light on. So here they are. Is it your egg? And what if you get too attached to give it up? So the type of surrogate that I'm going to be is called a gestational surrogate, and that means it is not my egg and it's not my child whatsoever. So no, I'm not going to get too attached to give it up. It's essentially like kind of like grandparents explain it, like they get to love on the child for a little bit and give it back. So to me, it's not going to be possible to get too attached. I can't give this child up. It's not my child to begin with. I'm just literally giving the child back to its parents at the end of this journey. So no, I'm not going to get too attached. I'm not worried about that. I'm looking forward to seeing that end result of seeing the parents' faces when they get to hold their child for the first time. Will it look like you? Again, it's not my child. It's not going to look like me. I mean, if it's lucky and somehow it kind of looks like me, but no, no, that's not going to be possible. It's not my DNA whatsoever. It's either going to be fully the intended parents using their egg and their sperm, or depending on their situation, they might have to have an egg donor or a sperm donor or both. So again, no, it's not mine. How are your kids going to understand? Won't they be confused? Actually, no, my kids are very understanding. I'm very big on communication. I really talk directly to them. I don't sugarcoat things, and I don't avoid really details. So my kids, they know. I sat down with them individually, one at a time, to really address their questions, and they're actually really excited for this process. They're looking forward to seeing my belly grow and meeting the intended parents. So no, they perfectly understand. Of course, Kai and Kalia, they're only 2 years old, so they're not going to fully understand anything, but they wouldn't fully understand anything anyways. They're going to understand that I do have a baby in my belly, but it's not mine. Again, the kids are pretty smart. If you talk directly to them and you give them these details, they're going to understand it. And if they don't, they have questions, all you have to do is answer them. So it's not as complicated as people are thinking. I know it was actually a big concern amongst my family members. Were wondering how my kids were going to handle it. Again, it's just like any situation. As long as you communicate to your children and answer their questions and give them a better understanding, then they're going to get it. Are you struggling with finances that much? That one made me chuckle. Actually, you have to be financially stable to even be considered a candidate. They do check that. They make sure that you're not on any government assistance because at the end of it, you're out of that source of income. So they want to make sure that you're not, diving into poverty right afterwards. They want to make sure that you are already stable to begin with. So no, you're doing fine financially. This is not about the money. This is about gifting some intended parents and helping them with something that they need help with. It's not about the money, although of course I do get compensated, but it's not about that. So no, we're fine, thank you. Your husband really allows you to be a surrogate? Yeah. I've talked to my husband about this. In fact, it's something that I brought up at the very beginning of us dating. I always played with the idea, like, well, what would you think if I were to want to become a surrogate mom? And I brought it up throughout our relationship because it's something that's always been on my heart. Even more so this year, I really started asking him more and more about it. And then it got to a point I was talking to him daily about it. He never had any objections. There was never a no. He was always just, as most people, just wanted more information to find out more about it. Because, again, there's not that much information out there. It's not something that's commonly spoke about. So, after he started learning more and more about it and saw that this is something that's really been on my heart, and me and him are kind of like the same. When our heart wants something and we truly focus on something, we're gonna get it. And so he kind of already knew that this wasn't something I was going to easily shake. This is something that is meant for me to do, and I couldn't shake it, and he knew that. So he is so supportive. I'm so grateful that I have him in my life. He's always supportive of everything that I do and all the decisions that I make. Even if he kind of doesn't agree all the time, he's very, very supportive of me. And so I'm so grateful. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say at the end of this, because he hasn't been through this and I haven't been through this. So it's going to just be a learning process together. But he is here on my side. So this question was probably the one that kind of annoyed me a little bit. Got asked, it was, shouldn't you be focused on raising your own kids and not focused on raising someone else's? And kind of threw me off, because I'm like, well, I've definitely been pregnant before with other children. You don't stop raising your other children just because you're pregnant. You know. So, and one, I'm not raising someone else's child. That's the parent's job. I'm just being the vessel in which they're going to be born. And I can definitely handle, I mean, I already take care of 4 kids. I can handle still taking care of them. And if it comes to a point where I need to be on bed rest or anything like that, childcare is provided for. I can have somebody come in home and help with my children. Just as anything else, if something gets hard, I can always have somebody come and help with my children. So no, I can definitely raise my own children, and it's not going to be affected by me becoming a surrogate mom. What happens if the baby comes out sick and the parents don't want it anymore? I don't know. That's not my decision. I don't all of a sudden become the default mother just because the parents wouldn't want them. It's kind of like if I had a baby and be like, oh, here, doctor, I'm sorry, I changed my mind. It's not something like that. Again, it's not my child, so it's up to the parents, and most likely these parents have been wanting a child for I don't know how long. I don't know their story. And it's not likely that they're going to go through such an intensive process, and it's not cheap. And then just to be like, oh, at the end, maybe I don't want this one, and I doubt it. But again, I'm not going to become a default mom. It's not my child. So that one's that. Who chooses the doctor? When it first starts and you first do the insemination, it's generally done at a clinic of their choosing, generally somewhere that's going to be near them. Now, I also have a say in how far I'm willing to travel. Like, I don't want to personally go international and have to deal with that. That's a little too much for me. I don't mind traveling out of state. So, for example, if they are out of state and they choose somewhere that's near them for that first insemination, I would travel out to that clinic. They provide all my travel fees, my hotel fare, I get a food allowance. So all of that is covered, even childcare. And so that process is done there. Generally, you're on bed rest for 24 to 48 hours, given what the doctor decides. Again, I would stay out there at a hotel until I'm cleared to go ahead and travel back home. And then from that point, that's when I would see my own personal OB. So I'd be seeing my doctor throughout the rest of the process. I would have the baby. out here with me, and the intended parents would then fly out, if they're out of state or if they're too far in California, fly out for the birth of their child during that time. If it's if it's local, then of course I just drive there. Again, I'm not going international, and that's the only time where I would actually be traveling out there towards them or towards a different clinic, is during that very first part. Are you ready for a potential intimacy drop for a baby that's not yours? That one, well, I'm married, and so we've been together for a while now, and there's always a chance for an intimacy drop in a relationship at some point. And just as in your marriage, it's something that you work for and you work towards. So this being for this baby that's not mine, it's, to me, that part doesn't even play a part. A marriage is something you're always constantly working towards and working on. And so, no, I don't think that's going to be an issue, to be honest. And if anything tends to happen, then it's up to me and my husband to work on that. That was a funny question to get asked. So those are all the questions that I've been asked so far. Well, not all of them, but those are a good chunk of the questions I've been asked so far. If you have any more questions that you're just curious on, or you just want to know, go ahead and message me or comment below, and I will answer them. And if I haven't experienced it yet, I'll wait further along in my journey, because I know there'll be more questions later on. So subscribe if you're interested in following this journey, and I'm so excited, you guys. I know I've said that so many times, but I really, really, really am. And alright, thank you, you guys. Bye!